water use extension, that's it.
This area, none.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Seth's not here tonight, but I think the fire chief had made some comments about there's a few areas where he'd like to see loops closed, where there's dead ends.
Yeah.
So, maybe those are things that we would want to take into account, but, okay. So does the board want, our moratorium is, until spring, and we obviously have CMRPC information coming in time for spring town meeting when it comes to build-out numbers and managed growth, but what we do with the water sewer district will affect some of CMRPC's results. So we really need a harder deadline on this as well. Is water sewer district something we want to deal with, again, before the calendar year finishes? And if so, what's our, we got to move on this stuff. We set this moratorium and.
I want to wait for the October 5th figures that, I want to see a rough cost that we're talking about. It may be so astronomical that it's just laughable.
I agree, but we have to.
I want to see that before we even have another
I agree
discussion,
100%.
because
Yeah.
I'm not interested in any increase,
Yeah, well, and that's one piece out of, 15, I think.
Do
that
we need that information to say that we want to set these boundaries?
Right.
We need all the information. We need to
We
know
don't-
if there's
we
a
don't-
well.
To set the boundary as it is right now, we don't need that information you got, that we're trying to get.
But you,
We started all this looking at backup for what we have.
Yep.
We didn't start looking at this for expanding of the system, or expansion of the system. We're looking at it as backup for what we already have.
and that's fine, but to be proactive to the questions we're going to get from the community, I think we need to answer why we're setting the district where we're setting it. Why are we not expanding it? What were your reasons? Well, here are your reasons. Because Mushkapog is here and our percentages are here and water is already at a premium. And yes, we looked into tying into the Quabbin and here's the cost. Here's why we're thinking this isn't going to work. And yes, we looked into the well you all keep talking about up at the heights and here were the results. We don't have any of those answers yet.
Well, I think when you get the answers for possible backup, you're also gonna get at the same time, the answers of possible expansion. When you find out the quality of the water at Rutland Heights, you're also gonna find out the quantity.
Right.
And the same thing with, MWRA. So, you're getting two answers at the same time. But the initial goal for doing this was,
Agreed.
We need to table this until the well results are in and until you have a rough figure.
Well, if we do that and we're waiting for money to get the well tested for fall town meeting, now we're already into mid-November. So does that mean we're doing water sewer district in December and that's our project?
could be.
Way to end the year. Cause then budget season starts. Yeah?
I think the only way, Sheila, you would save, if there is a savings with the MWRA, is to opt for the emergency tie-in or the backup tie-in, and that way, you still have to pay for the plumbing, if you will. You gotta pay for the plumbing, but you'd be able to have a turn-off, turn-on capability. So if Mushkapog did get low, you could turn it on, but in the interim, you wouldn't be charged until the actual gallonage starts rolling through.
Yeah.
Either or, if you do any of those three, you have to pay for
There's a
the
limited
plumbing.
time frame for that, too, for emergency draw. There's a limited time frame if I read that correctly.
And, Wayne, to your point, you're right. At the moment, we have no emergency backup. We have nothing. And every time in the news, something's come up, and it's come up a lot this summer alone in the New England area with boil water orders for multiple communities because of various things. It's serious that people don't think a thing about until all of a sudden that reverse 911 call goes out that you can't drink your water.
And important to remember also, with the water, the permanent amount of Mushkapog, there's always a reason. The max yield is 550,000 gallons a day. But as you continue to build and you draw and maybe have a drought, and the level of that pond goes down, as you heard when the chief water operator was here, the
Right.
temperature of that water certainly contributes to the odor.
Yep.
So it's good to be able to keep that level up, so you can keep it somewhat cool, but the warmer it gets,
I made this comment before, but I think also need to be mindful that if we're saying people are going to be pushed to wells, like at some point, what's there? Are we all going to be high and dry at some point? Like,
You mean competition for
Right.
tying into the table?
because we don't necessarily know where the table,
Yeah, you don't know.
right?
Those water veins could be anywhere, right? Because my well is drilled and it's not that deep. We know people nowadays who are drilling, what, 650, 800, 800
Yeah.
feet. So we don't know, you're right. But
So that's a
the,
larger conversation, I think,
well,
to
sure.
keep in the back of our mind, right?
I don't know how you answer that. The developments change because the lots have to be bigger,
Right.
but,
Well, that's what,
yeah.
Well, will we have more information by the next meeting? I think we will.
depends when they meet.
Yeah, as long
When-
as I can, I'll reach out again to Bethany. She did send me an email and just trying to get her staff, like I talked to Bob about that today. So we're just trying to move that up and get that done as quick as possible. And they take the blame for why it hasn't happened sooner. As you know, before Bob came, Margaret and I were working on this and sent you the information, but they kind of dropped the ball on that until Bob and I reminded them, hey, we're waiting for this. So I've reached out to her, talked to her a couple of times, and she did just send me an email and trying to set that meeting up. So certainly we can all be at the same place at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, if they can give you some indication of how this formula works, I don't know.
I can shoot out some cues tomorrow. I'll shoot out some cues
Yeah.
to see if I can get anything from her ahead of time and see how they put their formulas together and how much and so on and so forth.
Great.
Just to let you know, we were working on the outline of the sewer zone,
Mm.
Central Mass, the
Oh.
other day, so,
Wait, whose sewer zone? Ours?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The current outline, you mean?
No, well, the current, but also expanded
Existing.
what would, look normal, you know, what might fit in.
Oh, they were doing the hypotheticals for build out? Okay. Okay.
Why'd you raise your eyebrows at that? You know, you can see a lot on your face, Doc.
Does anybody have anything else?
Nice job on the outdoor, drainage out there. It came out nice.
There's a lot more
Nice
work, to do,
work.
but so far so good, it's working.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Is it raining?
Yeah, I think we had a heavy rain just after it was set in. Last week we had a good heavy rain, so. And I didn't get any complaints, so, and the floor is dry, so far so
Yeah.
good.
Thank you for turning that around so quickly.
Well, honestly,
Your
you're
staff.
welcome, but it should have been done earlier than what we did it, so. I'll
Send our
take the,
thanks.
I'll take the kick for that.
Nice. All right.
So, before we adjourn, do we need a motion to have Sheila sign this? Or we just have?
No, I think she can sign it with the motion you've taken.
It's a letter to Green Communities.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
To adjourn?
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Look at that.